I can't believe we're laughing. We're looking back on two defeats. Oh, welcome to a Podful of Saints on Tuesday, the 26th of August, 2025. Yes, as mentioned there, we've got two goals to look back on, so there's quite a bit of celebrating going on here. Um, with myself, David Tavener, and look at him, jovial as ever, Jake Ellacott.
I mean, Lee's got the right idea. He's got a non-football shirt on. So should we talk about something else other than the football? Not sure. I feel up to it. Hello, everyone.
It, when we were founded in 1908, we
Oh no.
adopted the colours of a city, blue and gold. Well done, Lee, you've got the correct colours.
Thank you. What do I win, Tabs?
A season ticket, sorry about that.
Ooh, crikey.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold the fruit.
Right, we're starting off down in Kent last Saturday, the bank holiday weekend. A first ever game against Folkestone Invicta. Not our first game at Hartsdown Park, home of Margate, not Margate. I get confused. But the first time we've lost there, a 2-1 defeat. And it wasn't great. Be interested to see what you two thought of it. Well, not great actually. I've written here, dreadful performance, totally disjointed, not looking anything like a team, but knows what it is doing, which is totally different to what we'll be saying about Monday's game in a little while. No surprises. Ian Colvers made no changes from the win over Dartford, but where did it go wrong? It was such a lame, tepid performance, wasn't it? We got what we deserved. I know it's an injury time goal, but that's all we deserved. Nothing.
Oh, go on, Lee.
Yeah, I think you've hit it on the head there, Tabs. I was genuinely concerned after Saturday. I'm always one to give players and new teams benefit of the doubt. But I thought Saturday was absolutely atrocious. There was just no cohesion. There was no real strength. But the thing is, we could see the game unfolding, and the rest of the fans were just shaking our heads in disbelief as into how bad it was and what was being served up to us. Right? I mean, Jake, I remember talking to you in the first half, and you just said to me, "Have we started to play yet or not?" And it never materialised until the second half, and by which point we can't go into these games and only sort of turn up for half an hour maximum, fellas.
Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had a comment, didn't we, or a question the other week about why we a first half team and how long have we been like that? And it well, not even a first half, just a half team. And it kind of felt like that again on Saturday. But like you say, Lee, it was really only half an hour, wasn't it? First half was bad. It was insipid. It was lethargic. I think part of the problem was maybe the shape and formation. Jasper Maffa was up front for the first half, and it's fair to say there wasn't much going on there, and that wasn't really his fault. But I think not really having two true strikers up front meant that we couldn't get control of the game, and there weren't any out balls in those forward areas, and we just struggled really to assert any sort of control on the game. And I think watching the highlights back, the goal that we concede, it's so easy, isn't it, for them? Just seemed to slot through. And yeah, I think, Lee, you sort of hinted it there from the fans. When that goal went in, of course, there was disappointment, but there almost wasn't surprise, was there, amongst the Saints fans, given how we'd started the game and how it continued on until the second half?
Of course, it came, unfortunately, from Zane Banton giving the ball away somewhat sloppily. And Zane missed Monday's game due to injury. His 4 games as captain, I don't think captaincy's doing him a world of good. He's, in my opinion, you're welcome to challenge it. He's too fixed on arguing with the referee over every decision instead of letting his feet do the talking. And so we're not seeing the best of him at all. And I think you may be better off just shifting the captaincy onto somewhere else, or just having a word with him and get him to concentrate on his game. Because we know what a good player he is. And at the moment, we're not seeing it at all. But he's not the only one. Saturday, you cannot pick one player who will escape the criticism from that performance. Ian Colvers said the players put everything into it, ran their heart out for the shirt and whatnot, along those lines. I don't think that will go down well with supporters who were there. It's not what they saw. It's funny, wasn't it? There was a load of noise going on because there was a concert in the evening in Margate, a load of punk bands from the 70s, and warming up, we heard the Sex Pistols, didn't we? Doing Pretty Vacant and No Fun. God, I got the second one right. Um, as for Felix, though, highly rated in some circles. You couldn't see it on that performance, could you? They won again Monday, but it's difficult to see how. But maybe there's a lot of teams like us in the league.
One thing I would say about Saturday is that at half time, bumped in to Riley Scott, who was obviously not in the squad. Had a really good sort of chat with him for about 5 minutes behind the stand there. And I think, there was probably a bit of lip service, but what I found out was that the players are just as frustrated, and they don't get to sort of spend as much time together sort of building that team unity up as they would like. They're not professionals. They're not having breakfast, lunch and dinner together. They've got a very limited time. But I did explain to him that irrespective of that, we don't expect performances of that quality or lack of, should we say. And he got it. And I think he did say that the players' frustrations are certainly, they mirror the fans' frustrations. So, well, yeah, maybe. But I think on the whole, I'm really disappointed by how we started the season. And your point about Zane, Taz, is just. I think that, for me personally, I thought giving Zane the captaincy was a masterstroke, simply because I think he deserved it. He's earned that right to be captain. I think he is the talisman. He's the one that's been there and done it. But as you say, he's just woefully underperformed, and he's not the only one, granted. But you would have thought of all the players to shine at this level and to shine in this team, Zane would be the one to do that. We give the ball away far too easily, and we don't control the ball. We don't dictate passages of play of any great length, and we almost invite teams upon us. And I think the formation's got to be looked at. The 5 at the back, you pay 5 because you don't trust the centre halves. And I've got more of an issue with Fifield than I had with Bostwick, even though he got sent off on Saturday. But I just think the formation needs to be looked at, because there's serious gaping holes in the middle of the park. And you're looking at players like Zane to come in and sort of really sort of just put his measure, put his stamp on the game and dictate it like we know he has done against bigger and better teams in the past. All round Saturday, frustrating, disappointed, disheartening. And I think that train ride home, Jake, was a long one, wasn't it, mate?
I think that's fair to say. You weren't having a good time, were you, at all?
No.
But before we move on, can we move on? I want to mention Leo Sery's goal. It was great to see him come on and have an impact, and it was a great finish, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought down to the bottom corner. So that is one positive, at least, to take away.
Well, they took the lead early on through Kweku Lucan, neatly finished, although Magnus Norman nearly stopped it. He got a fair bit on it, but couldn't keep it out. The winning goal, Ben Mason, 2nd minute of injury time. First time a young lad, he's turned 21, has scored a winner, and he's rather pleased with it. But the space he had on the edge of the box, when little flick put him in, we just switched off, and it was awful. Had we had 11 players on the pitch, it may not have happened. Now, I'm not going to be as generous to Michael Bostwick as you were, Lee. There were supporters calling for him to be sacked after the game, and you can fully understand it. He is our most senior player. He's a figurehead. And what example did he set on Saturday? He scythed down former Saint A.D. Yusuf to get booked on 61. 80 minutes later, when Yusuf's going past the game, he just puts his arm up. I don't know if he got him in his face or the throat. Should have been a straight red. Shouldn't have been a second yellow. Totally unacceptable. And having just got back into that game, as you said, Jake, with that great goal by Leo Sery, suddenly we're on the back foot again. He cost us the game. And the club then go and use his photo to promote Monday's game, as several people said.
I mean,
to me.
it's shithousery of the highest order, isn't it? Let's not muck around, fellas. But no, I'm not defending him per se. But ultimately, it's just a really disheartening day. I'm not entirely sure their keeper had a save to make, and I think we just, Dave, your word of the day last week was toothless, and you could absolutely apply that to us on Saturday, because of all the attacking talent we're supposed to have in this side, and I'm not entirely sure their keeper was worked anywhere near hard enough, and it's really upsetting. And I think we wanted a response from that. against Cheshunt at home on Monday. But the thing is, mate, we can't go into games like that again with that sort of a mindset. The work ethic wasn't there, the cohesion wasn't there, and the quality was certainly not there.
I feel sorry for our supporters. Very vocal throughout the game, particularly in the second half in that stand where you two were. Their chance, they were quite clear. The chairman took quite a bit of knocking for it, even though no club officials there except for the former secretary. And you could hear their frustration of what was going on. It's to do with the club as well and what's going on the pitch. And you can fully understand it. They put a lot of time, effort and money to go to that on a bank holiday weekend. And to get presented with that, it's just not acceptable.
No, it wasn't. And fans were frustrated. But I suppose fans were trying to get behind the team. Fans were really, really getting behind City. And, it didn't happen. I think on Bostwick, I just watched it back again on the highlights, and it really doesn't actually look good. At the time, most of us were too busy celebrating the goal. I think it was just like Salisbury. Less than a minute, 2 minutes later, down to 10, and all hopes almost extinguished. But yeah, that was poor. And I think at a time when we need people to step up, at the fans forum, a lot of the talk about last season was how we didn't have leaders on the pitch and how that wouldn't be a problem this coming season. I think we need to start to see that already. That sounds extreme, but we've got experienced players out there. They need to step up and lead this team to turn around results and just get this season going now. So hopefully that will happen in the next couple of weeks.
It's right, these leaders, at the moment, they're setting an awful example. In the build-up to that winning goal, Alex Dyer took a player out off the ball because he couldn't run with him, couldn't keep up with him. Referee let the play go. What an inspired decision it was. Led to the goal. This isn't the way to play football. If the leaders are going to lead, they've got to lead the right way, not the black arts of the game. It's not the way. There's work to be done on that side, no two ways about it. That's what we say about Saturday. We move on to Monday. It's a different kettle of fish, almost. Within 2 minutes, Cheshunt captain Darian Furlong could have scored. Didn't get enough power on the shot. Magnus Norman made a good save. But within 14 minutes, Gucci Soldier, what a goal. A superb goal. Haven't seen any highlights yet. But if it's as I remember, it's going to be one of the best goals of the season. Terrific goal. Bit of skill and an excellent shot. So far from making a flying start as we look to repair the damage from Saturday, we got off to a really poor start. It took us a long time to get into it, but that final hour, one-way traffic. We just couldn't score. Going to come on to that later. What was it like for you two?
It was agonising, wasn't it, Lee, at times? Is it fair to say?
It was. We had an absolutely amazing view of the opening goal, and we were right behind it, curled it with such precision. Fantastic goal. It just it took us a while to get going, and yet again there was a real sense of sort of deja vu behind the terraces, wasn't there, Jake? Because we're thinking, what is going on? They're just camped out in our half and we can't get anything going. We can't string more than 2 or 3 passes together. Leo Sery, I thought, was a highlight in the first half. He really did sort of use his pace extremely well. I thought Sam Smart had a couple of glorious. And then once we got back into it, then we decided to sort of try and play. And when we did play, it was fantastic stuff. Sam Smart down the right, as I sort of said, he had a glorious chance. Sery should have had a first half hat-trick, at least. What I would say is that Preston Edwards in the Cheshunt goal had an absolute inspired day. He was immense. Just the quality of the saves. But I think you're looking at... The one thing I would say, Tabs, is that when the last time we were at this level, we had a certain Mr. John Frendo scoring all these goals. And I know that, Jake, I mentioned this to you probably a few weeks back, mate. My concern was the fact that his goals helped get us up, And I think if you look at the teams who have been promoted from this level since, Marcus Willey at Enfield got 34 goals. They went up. I think last year, Joe Taylor, Ramsgate, got 40 goals. They went up. I don't believe we have a 20, 30, 40 goal a season striker in us. We've got forwards, but I don't believe we've got an out-and-out potent strike threat. And I think this could be this could be our downfall, because the fact is, if yesterday highlighted one thing, it's where our shortcomings were. And for all the glorious chances we had, Dave, and I'm sure you're going to go through them, mate, the one overall feeling was just a disappointment. And it was fun and it was exciting, yes, but the sustainability and success of a football club is based on results. It always has been, and it always continued to be. But the fact is, mate, as great as it was exciting stuff, and we pressurised and we created chance after chance after chance, and there was goal mouth scrambles, and it was hit the post, and there was almost chances, and it fell for this. It wouldn't quite fall. We still lost. But ultimately, mate, you know, we need to find someone to put the ball in the back of the net, and endeavour and endurance and, you know, God's honest hard work is all well and good, but we need quality in that final third, mate. And I'm not entirely sure any of the current offerings up front are the answer.
It'd be interesting when we see the highlights, Lee, because I don't actually think Preston Edwards made a lot of saves. I don't think he had to. He made 2 or 3 good ones, but it wasn't save after save after save, because Cheshunt, we bombed them with crosses from either flank, but they defended most of them really well. They won most of them. We got some headers in there. Fifield, I think it was towards the end, his header nearly went in. Riley Scott diving header, very close as well. But generally, I felt, had a better of it in the air. Funny enough, you mentioned John Frendo. Somebody else messaged me a little while ago, Tim Peavy, saying we need a goal scorer. He got us out of this division last time. We need a recognised goal scorer. And have we got that? No, we haven't in that side. No 2 ways about it. Also, I got an email from Jeff Gould out in Spain. He was listening on the radio, and he could hear it going down the flanks. He said it just seems to be one tactic. We didn't have somebody who could create something, go through the middle and test them down there. Did somebody mention Glenn McConnell? And
for God's sake,
bloody hell, you dug him up from, goodness me.
Just something different to really stretch them may have helped there, but it didn't happen. Not going to criticise side too much, because they really did give it their all yesterday. But they're lacking a goal scorer. Harrison Smith, I still think we'll get goals. I couldn't believe on Saturday when we sent him on, he clearly not match fit. He's not 100% fit, and we stuck him out on the left wing. So Harrison, finer arts of the game are not his best skills. So he kept clattering into their right back when we really need him in the middle of the pitch, clattering into the centre half in the danger area. But then, of course, Monday he started. But how many chances did he get? Very few. Either we weren't picking him out, or he wasn't quick enough to get to him, or Cheshunt really defended well to shut him out. And eventually he got substituted. No surprise, because, as we say, he's not fully fit yet. But that lack of a goal scorer, it's really sticking out, Jake.
Well, it really is. I mean, those golden opportunities, they sort of fell for everyone but Smith, didn't they, throughout the game, really? First half, like Lee says, Sery. I mean, we had the one that came off the post. There was those for Sery. You know, while Harrison was on the pitch, didn't really happen. And I think part of that was because quite a few of the opportunities, he was almost lingering back on the edge of the box. And once the ball fell to him, he took a touch, and surprise, surprise, there was 2 defenders at least on him straight away. Whereas he wasn't actually lurking in those sort of areas that maybe, I don't know if you've heard of this bloke, John Frendo, Sean Jeffers, Louis Theophanis, you know, some of those well-known names. They were always sort of lurking on that penalty spot, weren't they? Trying to deal with defenders and maybe just peeling off one at the last minute for those low crosses that were coming in on Monday, which was nice to see. And that was something, I think it was a nice treat, because last season, basically, we saw no decent crosses into the area at all. Whereas it's quite nice to see a bit of quality out wide. But yeah, I think I agree, Dave. I think Smith will be a goal scorer, but we need someone else. Lee's right. And I think that's a good point about the midfield, actually, as well. I think I turned to Lee, you at one point, didn't I, and said, we're on top here, but the midfield still looks like an issue, especially when without the ball, I think quite a few times the City midfielders gambled on a challenge or trying to win the ball. They missed it or didn't get there, and then it was basically just acres and acres for the opposition to run into. So I think it would be nice to see if we can make that work, and to have that option of maybe trying to unlock a defence through the middle.
One thing I would say, fellas, sorry, I was just going to say that it is frustrating, but it was a bloody great game. It was a really exciting game to watch. And I think that's the one time this season I've come away thinking, okay, this is what we can do when we start playing like a team. This is what we can do when we can really start putting some passes together. I'm looking at the midfield, and when you turn around to me, Jake, it's like we sort of lack. It's just coming back far too fast, you know, and the defenders are being put under immense pressure, especially when there's no one there to slow the pace of the game down. Dave, some of these names will probably ring true to you, but it's almost as though we need a John Pollard, a John Daly, a Duffield, Solomon Sambu, a Sam Corcoran type player, just to sit there and just sort of be that pivot. At the minute, it's all gun high. I mean, listen, it's really hard, isn't it? Because we've had some conversations with other fans, Jake, about, you know, it's bad because we're still lost, and we're talking about a defeat against Cheshunt at home. It is, but there were certainly some signs there. There were definitely some signs there, and I don't think it's that bad. Tavs, I had the unfortunate thing of running into Mick Holland on the way back to the station after the game, but his comments echoed so many people's comments that I was listening to on the way out. It wasn't that bad. It was really good football when we got to it. It's just at this moment in time, although the season is very much in its infancy, we're not playing that sort of football anywhere near enough.
Yeah. It's funny. On Saturday, a lot of us were saying we're going to go down 2 seasons running, and because you're looking at the whole 4 games together up to that point, not just the game against Folkestone, and we've been poor in all 4. We managed to win 1, we managed to get a draw in another, but we've still been poor, and there was nothing to excite you. So, can we now say this is a bit more positive? Ian made 3 changes for Monday, and it had a desired effect, and is the side now starting to gel? Or are we going to get one good performance in every 5? Time will tell. None of us know the answer at the moment, but after 5 games, his points per game record this season at a lower level is worse than the points per game record he had trying to keep us up last season, which I don't think any of us would have expected.
Well, at least we didn't have to wait till October for our first win this season, unlike last year. So that was nice. I totally get that, Dave. And I think coming away from Saturday, there was a lot of negativity, and of course, fans, especially that weren't there yesterday, just see another defeat. But they didn't see the manner of the defeat, bizarrely. But we played really well, and you would argue there is now a blueprint there for a game plan, attacking wise at least, of how you can cause trouble for these teams. But as we've been saying for the last 10 minutes, you can get the ball into the box, but you've then got to score it. You've got to put it away.
But this hops back to the start of the season, fellas, when we looked at the games and said, you know, we've got to start putting these chances away, especially when we're on top. You know, we had half an hour on the opening day that we looked quite handy, not to the extent of yesterday, but we looked as though we were getting the ball down, trying to play it in behind. That was our chance to score. You know, those are the opportunities that we really have to capitalise on. But the thing is, yesterday was just it was chaos, absolute chaos. I mean, the quality, Dave, you've mentioned it before, mate. The quality of balls into the box was excellent. I thought Sam Smart for me was absolutely immense. And I have to say, controversially, Alex Wall, when he came on, he had a job to upset those centre backs, and he did that. He made a nuisance of himself and really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But ultimately, again, we still go back to the same old thing: is that we need someone to convert all those chances. It's great we had so much possession, and Dave, you mentioned it there. The last hour was basically all ours. That second goal, Jake, you said it, mate. It was a smash and grab. You know, we started the second half extremely well. They got up and score, and then we're really up against it. We were quite fortunate to get a goal back relatively early after that. And then it was just the Alamo, wasn't it? You know, we basically parked up in their box. Listen, Dave, I know what you're saying, mate. I don't agree with the fact that if people were saying we were going to go down after Saturday, that's disappointing. Bit drastic as well, but they're your mates, so yeah, that probably goes without saying. Yeah, relegation. Talk about relegation after 4 or 5 games. Bit harsh, but we need to find something, and we need to find a goal scorer sooner rather than later, boys.
It was genuine concern by the fans, Lee.
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting that.
I don't think anybody thinks we are going to go down. Certainly after yesterday, despite a loss of another 3 points. It's just the atmosphere from the end of last season, starting the way we have this season, and the performances were so poor in those first 4 games. You can understand people thinking it. We're not seeing anything that suggests this side's going to get mid-table, let alone challenge. And there are fewer playoff places to go for in this league than there were in the other one. So you can understand people saying it. Monday will have hopefully changed 1 or 2 opinions, but we've got to follow it up now. And got an ideal opportunity on Saturday, FA Cup, first round qualifying. First time we've been in that for a while. I think it's only the second time we played an FA Cup tie in August. Spartan South Midlands League side, Premier Division. There can be no excuse for not winning this. I don't wish to upset you, but the last 3 seasons, we have gone out to lower league opposition. Now, what sort of side are you going to put out there? He had surprised us by playing those 3 experienced players Monday and Saturday. We thought he would change things around, but he's got no choice this weekend. He's got to leave Dyer out. One presumes he's suspended. Not sure how it works in these different competitions nowadays. But whatever side he puts out there, we've got to win this one. And I'll give you a bit of good news. It's the first time we played a side to the west of us in the FA Cup since we played a side called Forest Green Rovers. That didn't go too badly.
Oh, I've heard of them. Where are they now? And where are we? Dave, you talk about senior members. I mean, you just said Alex Dyer suspended. I think you mean Michael Bostwick, but we won't touch upon that. But yeah, Bostwick is suspended. So we presume Gautier will come in.
Got to, isn't it? He's got to.
That's a sensible option, isn't it? I mean, other than that, though, I don't see why you particularly change the team. You need a win. You need goals. You need to get through in this competition. And you could argue, could this be the ideal game for someone like Harrison Smith? More minutes in the tank, and will he have those opportunities to score goals and get him going? Maybe. I hope so. Lee looks more doubtful.
They've won 2 and lost 3 so far this season, Lee, but I'd imagine you're fairly confident, whoever is up front.
Yeah, I felt confident going into the Galston game though, Dave, and that was a rude awakening this time last year, my friend. So yeah, I don't know whether he starts Smith. I think that there's enough options elsewhere. Sippets might get an opportunity. Wall could start as well, but look, ultimately we need something. We need to get wins, don't we, just to prove their confidence again, boys. And they're not going to make it easy for us. But again, you talk about what team is he going to play. I'm not entirely sure there's masses of options to go for. We've got a big enough squad, so bless me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll see how we go, boys. But I'm not counting my chickens, especially after last year. That was an absolute disaster. So we'll see how we get on.
I would like to see us be positive. One thing about Folkestone, they left 2 players up front when they were defending corners.
Here we go.
Saturday.
Here we go.
It's a valid point because yesterday we cleared a corner and the bloke just hit it blind straight up to centre, halfway line to one of their plays. No pressure. So where's it go? Back into our danger area. Why not help ourselves a bit by easing the pressure by putting 2 up there? Try it. Just try it.
Look at this,
Dave
the tactician.
No, just like this, trying to be a bit more positive.
No, I think that's totally fair. I think that's a general approach that I think fans would like to see. I think that is what was missing on Saturday at Folkestone /Margate. That there wasn't that positive approach in the first half, or for much of the game, was there? And we were always on the back step. Whereas for Cheshunt, obviously it took a couple of goals, or at least 1 goal, but we at least were positive in our approach in the final third. And look, it entertained the supporters, it created opportunities. We almost got a result from that. So I think you've got to take that similar approach at Aylesbury, and I'm sure we will. I have no doubt that the management will, underestimate this team. They may be 2 below us, but the club's got recent pain. from that, as you've mentioned. So I am sure that we will take it very seriously and put out a very strong team. And I think the message will be take control of this game early on. Let's see what we can do, because again, we've not really done that this season. We've not really taken control of a game apart from Dartford, and that was with the courtesy of a red card, wasn't it? It'd be nice to see us do that on our own terms and see what can go from there.
Talking of Dartford and red cards, Jake, haven't they now had 5 sent off in 5 this season?
Thug. Absolute thug.
Something like that.
That's just the fans.
They still got a point yesterday, eh?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Amazing. Anyway, right. Aylesbury Vale Dynamos, we have been there before. Is it Haywood Way, I think it is. It's for a friendly on the 30th of July, 2011, against a side called Aylesbury, but I don't think it was Vale Dynamos. And we had in our side the likes of, you remember some of these, David Ijihar, Ryan Moran, Saku Bakari, and Sean Shields came on as sub. And we still managed to lose 3-2.
So, optimistic then, mate, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, got a bit, haven't we?
Oh,
Should we do a prediction while we're here for this one? Because I've got some questions to chuck at you afterwards.
Oh, no.
4-0 Saints.
Yes. Oh, no.
Yes, why not, man? Come on. Yesterday's given me real spunk to really take on the FA Cup, mate.
2-0 Saints.
2-0. Okay. 3-1. Let's make it interesting. Let's give them a go.
I love the fact we've just spent the last half an hour absolutely lamenting the fact we've got no goal scorers of any kind. And we're just all collectively saying, yeah, we're pretty just going to score, all these goals. Brilliant.
Saving it for the cup. Saving it. It's money league.
Right, see what it is.
In September, we've got to start paying off $5,000 a month for this loan we got from the sports council.
Oh, he's gone there. He's gone there.
It's a genuine point. We took this loan out from the Sports Council, 5 years ago? No one knows what it is for. £275,000, whatever it was. So from this September, we've got to start paying it back at $5,000 something a month. So we need some FA Cup money to help pay the bills. Particularly if we get through this and get drawn away in the next round, it could be a long time till we're back at the park getting in some money. But there we go. Anyway.
Did you know he was going to do that?
No. I don't know how he managed to do that, but fair play.
Right. Cheshunt manager, Mal Gwinnett, in his post-match interview, he said, we're the best side in the league and we're going to win it. Where the hell did he get that from?
I mean, listen, I like a drink, but I tell you what, I don't know what that geezer was on. Absolute lunacy.
Podcast viewer Ben Griffith said last time, how many times did we hear that over the last 2 years as we slowly sailed towards relegation?
Stop jinxing us. Stop jinxing us.
I'd rather the opposition manager stop saying that about us.
I'd rather say, we're going to go down. We're absolutely shit. But you know what I mean? Just say that. Reverse psychology.
I tell you what, I had a lot of questions about as well. How long has Ian Culverhouse got? Bearing in mind this, it's a fair question. Supporters are asking it, so he's got to come up. I'm not saying he should go. I think it's 4 just today. He has got that lower points per game record than last season, and it is now his team. But he does need a win Saturday in the FA Cup, doesn't he? No two ways about it.
Yeah, he does. But as I said, at least we've won this season. It's not October. At least we're not going to Galston and losing there and still not had a winning the league, because surely that would be unsurvivable, right? There's of course there's pressure, but I think that pressure has been created by the off the field issues. On the field wise, it's not been a great start, but I think most fans I know are happy with Culverhouse and Basler. They're willing to give them time, but those ones that I've heard those questions from are again because of the pressure around ticketing, etc., etc. It's an issue that keeps coming up every week, and as to whether the club can afford a poor start to the season just because of the implications of everything around that. But personally, I think there's no need for those sort of discussions at the minute. The management team, they need time. This is a brand new squad. We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Brand new squad, a lot of changes in the summer. I think, Dave, we described it a couple of weeks ago as a hectic summer, wasn't it, in terms of squad turnover? That's going to take time to gel. And, talk of that is very, very premature for me, especially on the back of a good performance against Cheshunt, even if the result wasn't there.
Don't forget last year, the club taken a lot of criticism for dithering with David Noble. He should have gone after the Galston Cup defeat. I can't imagine Ian would go if we lost Saturday. I can't see it's losing anyway. It is too early for that. You'd like to think it is too early for that, unless side maybe it showed signs of Monday coming together. If it's another disastrous on Saturday, then things will change. Excellent crowd Monday, but how long will we keep those coming in if we go out of the cup early? It's not going to happen.
I think any discussions about the management staff going at this stage is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, everyone is really upset by the results and the quality of some of the performances, no doubt about it. But as Jake said, Ian and Bazza have had to just somehow get together a whole entire squad, give or take 3 or 4 players, not only to get them playing as a unit, but getting them to challenge and being competitive enough to sort of quench the fans' thirst for promotion, to get back into. Or look, there's a lot of fans who are just happy for us to be competitive, and mid-table is where they expect us to be. So for anyone to say that it's anything other than remarkable how he's managed to get this team together from scratch, look, it's going to take time. It was always going to take time. The results aren't there, no doubt, and the performances aren't there. He said that himself in his post-match. He knows. I don't know what else. I mean, other than the fact they want 4-0 every single week, I'm not entirely sure what some fans expect. Dave, I pose the question to you, mate. How long did you want to give him before these whispers keep getting a little bit more fruitful, a little bit more louder? Surely this bloke has got loads more time. He's got to have time to build this side and gain momentum. And as you say, the cup could be that perfect platform, mate, to do that on Saturday.
I agree with you. He won't survive with performances like the first 4 games. You can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
If we are now starting to see the side coming together, then you've got to give him time to hopefully build upon that and keep us going along those lines. I don't know why he's shaking you, Edley. I'm saying if a good performance.
No, I just can't believe the mindset of some fans. Four games in, games in, and it's I don't understand it.
If we'd done it 4 games last year, might have stayed up.
Yeah, well.
But something else you expressed concern over the weekend for, Jake. Ours we playing yellow and blue, so we'll probably be wearing our pink kit. One would have thought. You were a tad concerned about the pink kit of the weekend.
It's not been a great record. This question came from, again, chats with supporters on the way home on Saturday. And Andrew Levy brought up some stats, and then I checked those with you, Dave, and it turns out Andy was kind of on the right lines of, we've not got a great record in it, have we?
16 league games in the pink shirt, 1 win, 3 cup ties, 1 win.
That's better. That bodes well for Saturday. I'd rather take that percentage of cup wins. And when was that cup win, Dave? Did anything major happen a couple of days after, or
nothing at all? Nobby's last game, 2-1 win away to Bishop Stortford.
There you go.
There you go, indeed. Right, that's a kit put. How much are tickets down the park, Jake? If you get them online.
This is car crash TV, isn't it? What is going on?
Well, I think that question depends on whether it's 48 hours beforehand or after, doesn't it, Dave?
Well, the club's put it out. If you buy a ticket online, you get a discounted price 48 hours before the kickoff. So why, on the club website, does it state online sales will stop at midnight in advance of the game, e.g., midnight on Friday night for Saturday games, midnight on Monday for Tuesday games? So why is that on the website?
Which bit of the website is that on, Dave?
Frequently asked questions.
Oh, yeah.
It's on there. I'd like to see somebody try to buy a ticket on a Friday or Monday and forced to pay full price query it. It's ridiculous. Get your act together.
Lee, help get us back on track.
Yes. Hello. Question. Dave, how is the tannoy now? Is this very much to your levels of decibel readings? Are you good with that now?
Folkestone was superb.
All right, good. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Johnny was still shouting, whichever stand it was, make your noise, and the referee had started the game. What's all that about?
I feel as though we're scraping the barrel here, fellas. Jacob,
we're stating facts. We are stating facts.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
I mean, I think Dave had a really good bank holiday by the sounds of this. So
Yeah.
Dave, have you got anything else, dare I ask, before we try and finish this?
Don't give him the bloody platform to moan again. Christ.
No, stating facts, Lee, not moaning. Stating facts.
No. Yeah.
And bringing up points from supporters, because the club is nothing about supporters, despite the club.
That's right, David. You tell it. Yes,
doing their best to get rid of them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And Lee, anything for you?
I'm good, mate. I'm really good. I'm in a good mood, believe it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're taking positives, Dave, from the performance. We're going into the greatest cup competition in the entire world. We're obviously going to win.
Yeah.
So nothing can go wrong.
No.
One thing I would say though, Tabs, Jacob and I are struggling to get there on Saturday, mate. Is there space in the Podmobile? Is there enough in the Pod Kitty to maybe get an Uber down there somewhere?
Get you out to Tottenham and it'll all be sorted.
Why do we go there?
Oh dear, someone's got to.
Jacob.
Right. Podful of Saints on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just email in the description below. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. We really appreciate all the questions, comments we've been receiving. And yeah, we'll speak to you again next week after the Saints do something in the cup. Let's hope it's a win. Come on, you Saints. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Culver House in.